to make sure everybody's in. Awesome. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to orientation. We're so glad you could join us as you begin this exciting new chapter. Today is all about helping to get you know your program and the people who will be part of your journey and the resources that will help you succeed. You are going to meet faculty, staff, and your fellow students who are here to support you every step of the way. We hope you'll jump in, ask questions, and start making connections. Um, the relationships you begin building today in this orientation are going to last well beyond graduation, and we're so glad you're here. I am going to pass it off to our dean, Noelle Fern, for some welcoming remarks.
Good morning, everyone. This is so exciting. Welcome to St. Louis University's School of Social Work online orientation. As Becca said, I am Noelle Fern, and I have the honor of serving as the dean of the best school at St. Louis University. So on behalf of our faculty, our staff, and our current students, I'm thrilled to greet you, the fall 2025 class of graduate students. So whether you've joined us to pursue your Master of Social Work, your Master of Arts in Criminology and Criminal Justice, or your Master of Science in Applied Behavior Analysis, you are now part of a community deeply committed to academic excellence, professional growth, and service with and for others. To be sure, each of you brings unique experiences, talents, and perspectives that will enrich not only your own learning, but also the learning of those around you. You have chosen programs, correctly so, that prepare you to tackle some of society's most pressing issues, and that is both a huge privilege and a great responsibility. During your time here with us, online with us, or in person with us, you will be challenged to think critically, to engage deeply, and to work collaboratively. You will have opportunities to apply what you learn in the classroom to real world settings, making a tangible impact in our community and in your own. And you will be supported along the way by dedicated faculty, committed staff, and your peers alongside you who will become lifelong colleagues and friends. So as you begin this journey, I encourage you to stay curious, to ask lots of questions, and to take advantage of every opportunity provided so that you learn, serve, and lead. Remember, you are not here by accident. You are here because you are ready, and we are ready to support you. We are so excited to see the incredible contributions that you'll make both during your time here in the School of Social Work at St. Louis University and in the years beyond. Welcome to our School of Social Work. Welcome to St. Louis University, and welcome to the start of something truly transformative. Now, before I ask our fabulous faculty and stellar staff and university partners who have joined us online today to introduce themselves to you, and then prepare for it, you to introduce yourself to us, I wanted to share with you a bit of information about your new community. This is our incoming fall 2025 graduate student class. So as of 2 days ago, August 13th, we had 115 registered graduate students in the School of Social Work. Most students, but not all, about half of our students come from Missouri, 21 from Illinois, and we have honorable mentions for New York, Texas, Michigan, and Minnesota. We also have international students joining us. While the majority of our students are from the US, we have a student from Nigeria, Iran, India, Norway, and Mexico. 76% of our incoming class is pursuing an MSW in some form, perhaps with a dual. 10% of our incoming class is pursuing their Master of Arts in Criminology and Criminal Justice. 13% are pursuing a graduate degree in MS in Applied Behavior Analysis. We have one student doing a postmaster's certificate. We have 18 advanced standing MSW students. 39% of our incoming class will be online students, whereas 61% will be on the ground students. Like I alluded to a bit ago, we have almost 20. We have 17 new dual degree students. So 17 of our students have decided to tackle 2 degrees at one time. We have 12 doing the joint, the dual MSW, MSABA, 3 pursuing the MSW, MACCJ, and then a couple pursuing an MSW with a joint Juris Doctorate, the JD degree from our law school. The most common undergraduate major is psychology. The most common undergraduate institution, of course, is SLU. So SLU graduates or double Billikens make up 19% of our incoming class, but we also have honorable mentions from SIUE, from UMSL, Harris Stowe, Missouri State, and Lincoln University. Now get ready for it. Our youngest incoming student was born in 2005. Our student who had been here, spent the most days on this planet, was born in 1969. I will not call them our oldest student. The most common birth year among incoming students is 2003. It's a product of the 1900s. Seems very recent to me, and I can't believe y'all are already in grad school. 90% of our incoming class is female, 10% male, and a couple of fun facts. The most popular first name for students, Matthew and Hannah. We had Kendall Hall's birthday yesterday. Yes, yesterday was the 14th, so our in-person orientation. And Sierra Count's birthday is actually today. So happy birthday to you all. Now, I'm going to invite all of our faculty, our staff, and our university partners who are on here with us today to introduce themselves. So be aware, because you're going to have to do the same thing in just a few minutes. We're going to share a little bit, a tidbit or two with you, including their hype song or their walk-up song. So if you play baseball or softball, or if you are into wrestling or MMA and you're walking up to the plate or out to the ring, what would be the song that inspires you and gets you hyped, gets you ready? You may need these songs this year. You may have a paper due or a presentation or practicum, and you need to get hyped. We will collect and make a playlist for our incoming graduate student cohort this year, and we'll share it with everyone. So we're very interested in seeing what your hype song is. My hype song for this year, as I'm feeling so hopeful, has to be the 1980s, I know I'm dating myself, song Celebration by Kool and the Gang. So, welcome. Next up.
Thank you, Dean Fern. That was a great, I love that song. Good years, those 80s. My name is Christy Richter. I'm an assistant professor in the School of Social Work. I also have the pleasure of serving as the MSW program director, and I am a field liaison. So for those of you in community and organization, I may see you in field seminar or in your practicum. Let's see, my hype song would be Like Dreamers Do from the Radiators. Next.
Okay, I'll hop in. I am Professor Kenya Brumfield Young, and I'm with the Criminology and Criminal Justice program. I also teach graduate and undergraduate. I also coordinate the internship program. My walk-up song today is actually Meghan Trainor's Me Too. So now I'm going to popcorn to Wendy.
I think I'm supposed to go fourth, so I'll jump in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was a list.
There is. Hi, my name is Diane McGuire. I am the director of the Criminology and Criminal Justice program. I have been at SLU longer than most of you have been on the planet. I've been here since 2001. And my hype song was going to be Celebration, but Noel stole it. So I thought about it last night. I picked a new one, and it's We've Only Just Begun by the Carpenters, which really dates me, but I'm okay with that.
Awesome, Diane. Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Lewis, and I'm an associate clinical professor here at St. Louis University. If you are in any of the ABA program courses, if you're in practicum on the social work, clinical, or ComOrg concentration side, I hopefully will get a chance to interact with you and work with you on your journey towards your degree. And my hype song is, this is a big stressor for me because I love all at all times, so it's hard to pick just one, but today I'm picking Fantasy by Mariah Carey.
Everyone, I'm Allison Gibson. I'm an associate professor in the School of Social Work. I teach a lot of the clinical concentration courses in the MSW, so may see some of you. And I also am the coordinator for the Gerontology Interprofessional Certificate that we offer here at SLU. So if you are interested in maybe working with older adults, we have a fantastic certificate that students can take fully online. And if you're an MSW student, there's a good chance that this will not be any additional coursework for you. So if you are at all interested, I hope you'll get in touch with me. I'm happy to drop my information in the chat. Thinking about walk-up songs, I think today I'm going to go with Wait So Long by our Trampled by Turtles. So hopefully that'll get folks geared up for the new school year. And I think Jesse is going to go next.
I am, thanks. I'm Jesse Helton. I'm an associate professor in the School of Social Work. And so I teach in the undergrad MSW program and the PhD program. You may have me for 5702, the social policy online course. I'm also the head of the ComOrg concentration. So if you're a ComOrg student, you'll see me later. I do research in child abuse and neglect and foster care. If that's an interest to you, please come and see me at some point. I'd love to talk. And the other day, my walk-up song was a really depressing one. I guess I was in a bad mood. But today we'll go a little more hopeful. So how about Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra? Now, I was supposed to turn it over to Kenya, but she doesn't follow the rules. So I don't know who's going next, but whoever's after Kenya.
It's me.
Wendy.
It's me. I read my email this morning. Good morning, y'all. I'm Wendy Ducasse. I'm the Director of Field Education. So I'll be speaking with you about practicum later on this afternoon. And I am an assistant professor in the School of Social Work, and I typically teach seminar. I'm the course lead for HIPSE. So if you have any questions or comments or complaints about that, I'm the person to talk to. But I'm looking forward to working with all of you soon. And my walk-up song in this moment, I guess, will be Glorious by Macklemore.
Thanks, Wendy. Hi, everybody. I am Becca Schultz. I am the Admissions and Marketing Program Coordinator here in the School of Social Work. While I don't teach in the program, I do get to work pretty closely with our faculty and our program directors with the marketing and admission side of things that I do. And I kind of have my hands in both grad and undergrad, so it's a really unique place to be. My walk-up song, ever since it came out about 2 weeks ago on the Las Culturistas Award show, is Ben Platt's cover of Diet Pepsi. If you know, you know, it's the best. And it is on repeat in the car all the time in my house. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Becca. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Online Orientation Day. My name is Danny Young. I'm the Director of Graduate Recruitment and Admissions here in the School of Social Work. Sorry, but not sorry for flooding your inboxes with so many emails over these last several months, but thank you for responding. It warms my heart to see so many of you here this morning. So we're very excited to get you acclimated to SLU. With that being said, this is an orientation and it's meant to be interactive. So don't be afraid to use your emojis. Feel free to show us how you're feeling. So don't be afraid to use those emojis. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I actually am teaching my first undergraduate core class this fall. So I'm very excited about that. But I absolutely will still be recruiting. So if you know someone that's interested in getting their master's degree in the School of Social Work, send them my way. Thank you. With that being said, my hype song is Boots on the Ground by 803 Fresh. So I will actually turn it over to Dr. Michael Passage really quickly. I think we skipped him earlier.
Hello, my name's Dr. Michael Passage. I'm an assistant professor, and I'm also the director of the ABA program. For my hype song, I'd probably say it's been listening to a lot of Jon Batiste lately, and I'd probably go with Freedom right now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shelby Tarkington. I am the academic program coordinator here. I do not teach, but I am also in the MSW program with you all. I just finished out my first year and a half in the MSW program. So if anybody is communities and organizations, I would love to talk to you on either the, yes, Professor Richter, either on the student side or the academic program side. I'm always here to help. My walk-up song today would be This Must Be the Place by Talking Heads.
Good morning, all. My name is Jessica Kilmaid. I am the business manager and executive assistant for the School of Social Work. I will be seeing you a little bit later when we talk tuition and billing, everyone's favorite subjects when it comes to grad school. I do not teach and am very impressed by all those who do and very thankful for our outstanding faculty here in the School of Social Work. My hype song is Diamonds by Rihanna, and I think we should all remember to shine bright.
Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Wong. I am a career counselor over at Career Services. I specifically work with School of Social Work students, among some other areas. My hype song would have to be Sleepwalking by Cinders.
We'll jump to Dorothy.
Hi, I'm Dorothy. I am a financial aid counselor here at SLU in this Office of Student Financial Services. And my hype song is going to be Vroom Vroom by Charlie XCX.
Hello, everyone. I am Jacob Bush, also a student financial services counselor here in the Office of Student Financial Services. And my hype song right now, it's definitely Drake. What Did I Miss? New song dropped a couple weeks back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am the coordinator of counseling and outreach here in Student Financial Services. I would say my hype song right now would be Kiwi by Harry Styles.
All right, at this time, we will do popcorn for any of the other School of Social Work faculty that want to introduce themselves.
Good morning, everybody.
You go.
The problem with popcorn. Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the School of Social Work. We're super happy and excited to have you. I am Brandy Maynard. I am a professor and associate dean for academic affairs. I teach primarily in the MSW program and PhD program, and I teach everyone's favorite class, which is the evaluation and research methods, and I teach that online. So hopefully I will see all of you in class soon. Oh, my song is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Tayus, and I teach in both the undergrad and the master's program. I teach the human behavior course in both and the social policy course in both. My hype song today is the same as yesterday, I guess. California Dreaming by the Mamas and the Papas. I was torn between that and Empire State of Mind, but California Dreaming is really my go-to song. So yeah.
Hello, I'm Professor Rachel Crow. I am an assistant clinical professor in the School of Social Work and a faculty field liaison. So when you're in practicum, I might be working with you or teaching your seminar. I teach both in the master's program and the bachelor's level program, and I teach the values and ethics elective in the spring. So I might see you there too, the online course. I would say today my hype song, since I am also a first year PhD student, is No Sleep Till Brooklyn by the Beastie Boys.
Hi, my name is Dr. Joe Zlatic. I am in the MACCJ program and the undergrad program as well. Going through many graduate programs in my life, I have come to find that my hype song just needs to be simple and is going to be Bob Marley's Everything's Gonna Be All Right.
Good morning. My name is Vicky Murrigan. I'm an associate professor here. I'm also the director of our BSSW program. I will be teaching the online version of human behavior, but if you have any complaints, it's all Dr. Ducasse's fault because she's the lead instructor. And my hype song is Out of Your Mind by Lil Jon. I'll popcorn it to Lori Brockhouse, Professor Brockhouse.
Thank you, Dr. Mulligan. I'm Lolly Blockhouse. I'm an assistant clinical professor. I teach both in the undergrad and graduate program. I teach in the MSW program, mostly foundational classes. So if you're taking social work practice with individuals, families, and groups online this year, I will see you there. And also a new Hallmark course, Anti-Racism and Social Work Practice. So I will see you for the online section in the spring if you're taking that. And I teach also in mostly clinical classes. And my hype song right now is Missy Elliott's Lose Control. And if we're popcorning, I'm looking around. Monica?
I was about to help you there, Lori. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lori. My name is Monica Matthew. I am born and raised in Louisiana, and I am a very proud Louisiana native that has a fleur-de-lis flag flying from my home state as well as from my adopted state of St. Louis in Missouri. Let's see. I teach, just like Jesse Helton, I teach 5702 social policy, so you may see me there. I also teach clinical classes like Lori and others, so you may see me in the advanced clinical classes for families and groups. My hype song today, because football season is about to start and we are all getting very excited in the SEC, because of course I have to bleed purple and gold, is Calling Baton Rouge. So I watched it on American Idol like everyone else in the country last year and enjoyed seeing that song kind of come back around. So Calling Baton Rouge, my hype song today. I think I popcorn it back to Danny unless there's any other faculty that are available for their introductions, and welcome everyone.
Thank you, Monica. Any other faculty? I think we're good. Becca, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, everyone. Now it's time to hear from you guys. So we are going to do student introductions now. If you can unmute and let us know your name, your program and concentration, where you're from, and what your hype song would be. If you can't unmute, feel free to type it in the chat. We will do popcorn style, so feel free to find a name and tell them to go next when you're done. And I will go ahead and kick it off and pass it to Naomi.
Hi, I'm Naomi. My concentration is going to be the MSW program. I am originally from Belgium. I moved to the States about 10 years ago. I'm currently in Kansas City, so not too far away. My hype song would be Alternative Ulster by Stiff Little Fingers. And I'm going to popcorn it to Ashton.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashton. My program is the MSW ABA concentration. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm currently a 6th through 8th grade special education resource teacher. And my hype song would also be Bob Marley, Get Up and Stand Up.
And who are you popcorned to, Ashton?
Oh, oops. Let me look. Jared Smith.
My name's Jared Smith. I'm the dual degree ABA and social work. My hype song would be Sit in Your Shadows by Citizen Soldier. And I would popcorn it to I don't know who wants to go next.
I can go next. I don't mind. So my name is Mary Harris. I am in the clinical concentration for MSW. I live in Belleville, Illinois, and my hype song would probably be It's My Life by Bon Jovi. And I can popcorn to Faith.
Hello, everyone. I'm Faith Bicking. I'm in the dual degree program for social work and ABA. I'm from Naperville, Illinois, and my hype song would be Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. I'll popcorn to Sophia.
Hi, I'm Sophia Speckard or Sophie. I'm from Minnesota, living in Minneapolis, and I'm doing the dual degree in social work and ABA. And my hype up song right now would probably be Dancing Queen by ABBA. I'll popcorn to Maggie.
Hey everybody, I'm from Portageville, Missouri. It's in the Boot Heel. My concentration is clinical MSW, and my hype song is probably gonna be Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones. And I'm gonna popcorn to Jenny.
Hello, my name is Jenny. I am in the MSW clinical concentration. I'm from Los Angeles, but I've lived in Louisiana and now I'm in Missouri. And my hype song would probably be No Hands by Waka. And I will popcorn to Tara.
Hello, my name is Tara Sargent. I am also clinical MSW. And my hype song is That's Who I Praise by Brandon Lake. And I will popcorn to Alyssa.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Blights. I'm from Michigan. And my hype song, I work with kids, and that's like 90% of my Spotify. So I'm going to do the Happy Song by Super Simple Songs. And popcorn. I don't know. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Charlene Williams-Moore. I am an MSW student with the clinical concentration, and my hype song is Lovely Day by Bill Withers. And I am going to pass it to Ashley Harris.
Hey, my name is Ashley. I'm from Chicago, but I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm doing a concentration in ABA, and my hype song right now is probably Thunderstruck. I'm gonna pass it to Mohammed.
Oh, Muhammad, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. My name is Mohammed Hossein Najafi from Iran. I'm really excited to join the Master of Criminal Justice program here in St. Louis University with a concentration of treatment and rehabilitation. My hype song is Set Fire to the Rain by Adele. And I can pass to the Ashton.
I've already gone. I'll pass to someone else.
How about Yasmin Henderson? Yasmin?
Hi, I'm Yasmin. I'm getting a degree in the MSW and in the clinical concentration. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I think my hype song would be Who Runs the World by Beyonce. I'll popcorn to Claire.
Hi, my name's Claire. I'm in the dual program for clinical social work and criminology, and I'm from St. Louis, and I would say my hype song is Busy Woman from Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know. Whoever wants to go next.
How about Lanice?
Hello, I'm Lanice. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs. I am doing the MSW clinical route, advanced standing. And my hype song is, of course, one of Beyonce's, My House. And I'll popcorn it to, hold on, I had a person, but she already went. Is it Jazz? Wait, where'd it go? Jasmine Flores?
Hi, I'm Jasmine Flores, and I'm doing the ABA MSW program. And my hype song right now would be Golden by the K-pop Demon Hunters. And I'll pass it to Dorothy.
Hi, I was on earlier. I'm a student financial aid counselor. Just, you know, so good, gotta say it twice. Passing it off to whoever wants to go.
How about
Good.
Avery?
Yep. Thanks. Annie.
I'm Avery. I'm originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm with the MSW clinical concentration, and my hype song, I think I'm gonna go with 16 Carriages, Beyonce. And then I'll pass it to Shay.
I'm Shay. I'm in the MSW clinical program. I'm from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and my hype song is Hometown from Brandon. And I will pass it to Mike. Is it Michael?
If you're a student who has not introduced yourself yet and you want to introduce yourself, please raise your hand. That'll make it easier for us. This is a wonderful suggestion from one of our students. Awesome, thank you.
Daniel, go.
Yes, ma'am. My name, excuse me. My name is Daniel Goodman. I'm seeking the clinical social worker program. I am from Kansas City, Missouri. Hype songs. That's a hard question. Anything Linkin Park, and but today it's probably "Legends Never Die" by Against the Current. Kendall, you're up.
Hi, my name is Kendall. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am in the MSW clinical program, and my hype song, I would have to say, would be Affirmations by Queen Naija.
Kaya, you're
My name is Kaya. I am in the MSW program with the clinical concentration. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin as well. And my hype song is Nonstop from the Hamilton soundtrack. I'll popcorn Christopher.
Hello. Yes, my name's Christopher, and I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Naomi and several other people are from Kansas City, so that's cool. But I'm in the MSW clinical program, clinical concentration. Definitely looking forward to continuing my degree. I started at KU and transferred to St. Louis. And then my hype song probably is right now is Katy Perry Firework. Thanks.
I'll go for it. My name's Camille, or Cam. Originally, I'm from Texas, but about a year and a half ago, I moved up to Seattle, Washington. So I'm up here, top country right now. Currently working at a emergency shelter for homeless youth in North Seattle, and previously worked in mental health. I'm in the dual program for ABA and social work, clinical, and Shelby actually stole my song, but I'll change it up to, I guess, Stop Playing With Me by Tyler, the Creator's new album.
Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm MACCJ. I'm from St. Louis. And then my hype song would probably be All the Lights, by Kanye West. Nia, I hope I'm saying that right.
Hey, you're good. My name's Neve. I'm part of the CCJ program. I'm from Effingham, Illinois. And I've actually been asked about my hype song before, and I blanked and said The Real Slim Shady by Eminem, so I'll keep that trend growing with that. And then if Susan would like to go next.
I'm Susan. I'm doing the dual degree MSW clinical with MSA ABA. I just moved from Portland, Oregon last week to Lexington, Kentucky. And my hype song is Defying Gravity. And Rahima?
Hello, my name is Rahima, and I am in St. Peters, Missouri. I'll be in the MSABA clinical concentration, and my hype song would probably be "A Thousand Reasons" by Matt Redman.
Evelyn, you're up next.
My name is Evelyn, and I'm a master's in social work with an ABA concentration, and I have advanced standing. And for my hype song, I would have to go with "I Do Everything" by Masego.
All right, everybody. Those are some great hype songs. I can't wait to put this playlist together and share it with you guys so that we can all jam out to everyone's songs together. If there is anyone else that wants to introduce themselves, please feel free to put it in the chat now. Make sure you send us your hype song so we can add it to the playlist. And my School of Social Work faculty, you are free to log off. But if you are doing a session with us later, we will see you again soon. Thank you so much for joining for introductions. We will see you soon. All right, moving right along, we are going to jump into career services.
Hi, everyone. Once again, my name is Grace, and I'm a career counselor over at Career Services. And we have a few different career counselors. Each of us works with a different area. So I work with the School of Social Work and some other schools. So if you end up making an appointment with us, you'll most likely be meeting with me. So good to meet everyone. So where we're located, oh, sorry, could we go back to the last slide? Our office is located on the ground floor of Griesedek Hall. So if you were on campus, then that's sort of like close to one of our dorm buildings. But as online students, you have the option to make online appointments with us, which you would do through EAB Navigate, which is accessible among your SLU apps. But if you do find yourself in person at some point, then please feel free to drop by. We have a really nice lobby area that you could sit in. Okay, so now I'll cover 6 sort of broad categories of services that we offer. So first up is career counseling. We have one-on-one meetings with students, and that is for undergrad students, graduate students, and alumni. So even after you finish your program, you have access to our services for life. You can schedule appointments with us, like I said, through EAB Navigate. These are typically 45-minute appointments, and there's a couple different appointment categories. So career counseling, like general career counseling, is one of those categories. And this is kind of a broad category for if you don't really know what you want to talk about, if you're maybe kind of unsure about what you want to do after you graduate, things like that. We also have other categories such as document review. This would be where we go over a resume or cover letter. But not only can you have your document reviewed during a one-on-one appointment, you can also have it reviewed asynchronously. So typically, if you go onto Handshake, which you have access to as a SLU student, and you upload your resume or cover letter, that goes into our queue of documents to review. So we automatically review those and give you feedback through Handshake. You also have the option of going to one of our online resources called Big Interview, which I'll sort of cover a little bit later. But that is also a helpful resource that can help you to review a resume. So number 3 is job and internship search. So these are 2 categories of one-on-one appointments as well. So during these sessions, we could meet with you and sort of talk about like what strategies you use to actually find those jobs and internships. We can help you to familiarize yourself with different job and internship search databases, such as Handshake or LinkedIn, among other ones as well. And we can also talk to you about networking. So like, how do you network? Where do you go to network? If you're having a networking conversation with someone, like, what do you talk about? And in these appointments, we can help you to really learn like how to make this search. And then we also offer a lot of online resources. So like I said, Handshake is a really big resource for you as students. If you go onto Handshake, go to Career Center and Resources, you'll find a lot of documents there that you can read. So some of those will be resume guides, resume rubrics that kind of give you like a checklist of things that you might want to include. Cover letter guides, things like that. We also have a lot of like videos up there for past presentations on different topics and things like that. So I mentioned Big Interview earlier. If you go onto our website, which you can access by scanning this QR code right here, you'll find in our online resources tab, Big Interview is one of them. So if you click on the link that we provide there, then you can make an account on Big Interview using your SLU email. And Big Interview is where you can practice your interviewing skills. So you would record yourself answering some interview questions, and then the website has some inbuilt interview AI that will sort of grade your response and give you suggestions on how to improve. And Big Interview also has Big Resume under it, which is a resume AI. So if you uploaded your resume, then it would give you feedback on your resume. Focus 2 is a resource. Oh, sorry, if we could just go back real quick. On the previous slide, the Focus 2 resource is another area that kind of helps you with career exploration. So it has assessments that can help you gauge your interests and your strengths. And then finally, what can I do with this major is really great for anyone who's maybe a little bit uncertain of what they want to do after graduation. So you can check out this resource available only through our website. Because it's something that we pay for. And if you go on there, you can see a lot of different things like, what can you do with your degree once you're out? And you might find out about different areas that you haven't heard of before. Okay, and then Career Services also offers a lot of different events throughout the year. So we have the big ones like the Career Expos and the Career Fairs. So most of our big events will be in person, but we do have those 2 like virtual career fairs, one in the fall, one in the spring. Both of those are entirely online, and you can register for those on Handshake. So if you log on to Handshake and go to events, you'll be able to find those there. And you can also see what employers are attending those. So you can sort of figure out like, oh, is there any particular employer that I want to make sure that I get into a breakout room with so I can talk with them. And we also have a variety of different workshops as well throughout the year. These sort of come in on Handshake as they're created. So you can sort of just keep checking Handshake and the events on there to see what comes up. And we do have a lot of things that are virtual, such as if employers want to have sort of like a virtual panel to meet students and answer questions. And then finally, mock interviews. So not only can you use Big Interview to practice your interviewing skills, you can also schedule an appointment with a career counselor. And in that way, you could sort of have like a more personalized mock interview. So if you had a job description, then you could send it to your career counselor. And we could kind of give you more specific or individualized interview questions for those. Okay, so next I'll move on to talking about professionalism. So to start with, like, why is it important to talk about professionalism for students? Many of you may already hold positions and you're, working at the same time that you're being a student. So here I'm really just going to concentrate on professionalism as a student. So professionalism as a student is important because while you're going through your program, you're meeting the people that you're probably going to use as references in the future, and maybe professors who might write your letters of recommendation in the future. So building your image really starts now as you're entering this program and doesn't stop, doesn't really stop even after you leave, right? As you're continuing to build your image as a professional. So professionalism is about how you dress. It's about the attitude you bring to school and work. It's about how you communicate with others, both verbally and in writing. It's about the quality of work that you do, and it's also about your timeliness. So what that really means, if we can move on to thank you, is that you're recognizing the importance of other people's time. So, you're trying to be on time for your meetings or being on time for your classes. And if you're unable to make a meeting or a class, then you're reaching out to them beforehand to say like, hey, I can't make it. Can we reschedule? You're really trying to pay attention in classes and meetings, which is, sometimes in an online format that can be really tough because it is hard to pay attention in Zoom classes. But in this context of an online class, I would say that professionalism means keeping your camera on as much as you can, so that you can better read other people's facial expressions, nonverbal language, because that kind of helps to smooth out the communication between you. And lets people know that you're paying attention to them. You'll want to follow through on your promises and deadlines. So whether that's deadlines for class projects or assignments and things like that. And then let people know, of course, if you're unable to complete a goal or a project, making sure that you're telling your professors ahead of time if you need an extension on an assignment. And then finally, take responsibility for your behavior. So both your successes and your failures. So if you're unable to complete something, or if you feel like you ended up with something where the quality was not up to par with what was expected of you, then of course you're communicating that, and you're also sort of making a plan for improvement. Like, how do I make up for this? But it's also important to own up to your successes, because the things that you succeed on are going to be the things that you talk about in your interviews in the future. They're going to be the things that you put on your resume in the future. So really own up to those as well so that you can acknowledge your own strengths. So professional communication is really important. As you go through the program, most likely you're going to be communicating a lot through emails. So this is just a little checklist of things that you'll want to be aware of as you're writing and sending emails. So one, make sure you're sending it to the right people. You didn't misspell anyone's name and accidentally send it to someone else. Make sure you've got an appropriate subject line. So maybe a subject line that's not too long so that, nobody's reading it, but also not too short that whoever's receiving it has no idea what the email is about. Have a professional salutation and keep your language professional as well. So try to minimize slang. And of course, it depends on who you're sending it to and the relationship that you have with them. Sometimes a little casual is okay. But in general, erring on the side of being formal is better. Make sure that you have the correct attachments. So if you say like, oh, I am submitting my paper here, then make sure you've actually attached your paper. And then finally, just reread your email before you send it. Make sure you've got the person's name right. Make sure you don't have any like weird spelling or grammar errors, and make sure that your message is clear. This is just an example of a professional email. I know you all will not be taking biochemistry, but imagine that you're sending an email to your professor maybe about a question that you have as you're writing a paper. So once again, just make sure that your subject line is clear. Make sure that you indicate somewhere in your email, like, oh, I am in this class that I have with you. And also in your email, explain what your question is, what you have done so far to try to address it, and what kind of help you're really seeking for, so that, we don't have to go into this weird back and forth of like, okay, so what do you actually need help with? So save both sides some time there. And yeah, that is all for my presentation. Once again, you can contact us in these ways. So you can call our front desk to make an appointment. You can email us at career_services@slu.edu if you have sort of like more general questions. Typically, we schedule appointments sometime between 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. because those are normal office hours. The easiest way to schedule is really just going to be to use EAB Navigate on your SLU Okta dashboard. And on the next slide, you can see my email, and we also have information about our social medias. So you can follow us on social media to sort of keep up to date on the things that our office is doing. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions.
Thanks so much, Grace. Great presentation. All right, everyone. We are now going to move on to our SLU Resources Q&A session. You all, before today, received videos from the library, from IT, and from Student Financial Services. We hope that you had taken the time to review those videos. And now we are going to let our department representatives unmute, introduce themselves, and now is the time for them to answer any questions you might have in the chat, or if you need to unmute. This is just your time with them to get to know them a little bit and to get any last minute questions that you have answered. I will let my IT team go ahead and kick off if they want to unmute and introduce themselves.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Murphy. I lead our end user services team here at St. Louis University. I have responsibility for all of our support organizations, our teaching and learning applications, and the technology that is in our classroom and conference rooms. Nice to see everybody this morning. I'll let Mike go next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Holmes. I'm the Director of Academic Technologies here at SLU. Welcome to SLU. So my team manages all of the applications and software and things that you will use in the classroom, whether it's Canvas, Panopto, Zoom, or any of those other kind of specialized systems. My team also runs and supports the Student Services Desk and the Academic Technology Commons in the library. So if you need to find a study space or get help with some of your computer issues, feel free to walk into the library and ask them there.
Are there any specific questions for IT, whether it's regarding student account or passwords or anything like that, that we can get answered for you today, right now?
I have a quick question.
Go ahead,
Yeah, go
Evelyn.
ahead.
So for the new like Verify and for the app and everything, I tried to sign up for it, but it said I should have received an email from my institutions or like you guys to like lead me to the place where I can like actually sign up after I download the app. But I never got that email. Was I supposed to? Or like, can you just look up the name? Because I tried just looking up the name and it didn't work. But I have like the extension, but not the like phone app, if that makes sense.
Evelyn, we have been having some issues with the communications that are going out for that onboarding process. So we are working to get that corrected. My suggestion, though, would be in the meantime to call our service desk. It's 314-977-4000. And we can help you even though you don't have that email. So we can help you get that set up.
Oh, I'm already set up because I was a graduate student. I just don't have the app. And like I've heard like eventually I guess it won't work with email, like you'll need the app on your phone. And that's why I was worried about it. But like I currently have access to like all my SLU stuff.
Okay. I think you're okay then. If you do get to a point where you don't have access, our service desk will be able to assist you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Thank you. Good question.
All right, if there are no other questions, feel free to continue talking in the chat, but we will pass it over to our Student Financial Services team representatives to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm the coordinator of counseling and outreach here in Student Financial Services. We also have Dorothy and Jacob in here as well. They are some of our counselors. Each one of you will have an assigned counselor that will be able to assist you with your financial aid questions. So if you do have specific questions about your account, we suggest either booking an appointment in EAB, calling our office, or coming in. There's no appointment required for walk-in visits. We're always happy to talk to you. We are able to assist with FAFSA questions, loan questions, or specific questions about your bill. But I'm going to pass it on to Dorothy and Jacob in case they have something to add as well.
If you have not already filed your 25-26 FAFSA, please file ASAP. Make sure you do 26-27 October 1.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add other than I think I'm assigned to students with the last names S through Z. So yeah, if anybody has questions, feel free to ask now or shoot me over an email. I should be in your EAB Navigate. You can see like who your financial aid counselor is as well as kind of your whole support group here.
Thanks, guys. We do have a question in the chat that asks, do we apply now for summer 26?
Yeah, so with your 2025-2026 FAFSA, that will be included in for this upcoming year. So if you've done your FAFSA for 25-26 already, then you are good.
You may need to apply for the federal Grad Plus loan for the summer, though, but I would wait until December, would you say, Sarah, for the credit check?
Yeah, I would suggest waiting until we get closer to spring. Yeah.
Before we move on to the other questions, I just want to preface that these should be general questions. If it's related to your specific student account, we will want to send those questions via email or give our financial aid team a call so that we're not asking that on this main orientation meeting. But Ashton, I'll let you go next.
I was just going to ask if I could set up a time with financial aid just because I'm having issues with my account, and the challenge that I run into is I'm on West Coast time. So I'm like 2 and 3 hours behind you guys, but I don't know if that's possible, but I don't want to, take up too much time on this call. So I would love to reach out to just clarify a couple things.
Yeah, so I would suggest setting up an appointment in EAB if you have access to that. Or if you want to give us a call to our direct line, we can assist you with getting an appointment then.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel?
That's me. So I'm a veteran, using veteran VA benefits, GI Bill stuff, and I'm curious about whether or not I need to go through the FAFSA process still.
So I would have you talk to Leonard Dolinga yet.
Okay.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I know Leonard. I just wasn't sure. So
Okay. It's never required that you need to fill out the FAFSA, but we always strongly recommend doing it.
okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if there are any other questions for our Student Financial Services team, we will move those over to the chat so that we have time for our library team to introduce themselves and take questions.
Good morning. My name is Holly Ryder. I am the head of research and teaching in the Pius Library and the interim liaison for the School of Social Work.
And hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Pugachev. I am our Associate Dean of Collections and Strategy. So I have oversight on all the resources we have, including our e-resources. So things like access issues, that all goes through my team. And I will say Holly just started August 1st. So she is very good, but if I'm also here in case there's any questions Holly hasn't quite learned the answer to in 2 weeks.
Holly,
Are there any?
oh, sorry. Quick question,
Okay.
Holly or Sarah, is there any advice you want to give to students? I'm assuming they watched your video for library services, but is there any tips or advice you want to just quickly share with students about utilizing library services?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always like to say like the most important resource, we have a ton of resources, electronic, we have ebooks, we have physical books, we have databases, but the number one resource we have at the library is the librarians. So we have a live chat on the library page that's operating way past my bedtime. It lasts until midnight every night. So if you have a question, please ask. Librarians love to help. We love to find information. So even if it's a question that you're like, I don't even know if I should ask the library this. You can send it over to us. I know Tim and Mike. So if it's an IT question, they'll hear from us. So that's what I'd say. We want you to use our resources. We also want you to remember that you have a librarian and a team of librarians, in fact, to help. Holly, anything you want to add to that?
I'll just add that don't feel like you should know something that you don't know. Like that's often a barrier for students coming to the library and asking questions is, oh, I should already know this, so you don't want to ask. Come ask, because I guarantee somebody else has that same question, or we've already been asked that question before. And the worst thing you can do is just not get the help that you need. So, and yes, like Sarah said, we can point you to other campus resources if we're not the place that you need to be talking to. We absolutely can do that.
Thank you, ladies. We will open it up to questions for library. And then when we're done with questions, I will bring back up the contact information slide. Everyone should grab their phone and take a picture of it because you will need this contact information at some point. I know you will during your time in the programs with us. So just a couple more minutes if there are any questions, and then I'll pull back the contact information slide. Or any other pieces of advice from not just the library, student financial services, or IT. If you have any pieces of advice or best practices for our incoming students, please feel free to share.
I would just restate for IT, call us. We're here to help. Our contact information is up there. If you ever have a technology question, give us a ring. We want to help you out and make sure technology is an enabler for you, not a barrier.
From Student Financial Services, I know a lot of students look at Banner at their financial aid information. I would suggest looking at Payment Suite in your account activity. That's where you're going to see the most up-to-date information from us.
We got a question in the chat that said, are there scholarships for graduate students? I've done research and can't find many.
Yeah, so typically for grad students, we are going to point you to the direction of your department or your program, and they should be able to provide some information for you.
Thank you, Sarah. I'll jump in here. So every admitted incoming graduate student within the School of Social Work received a partial scholarship through the generous donations of our alumni and benefactors. So everyone, regardless of whether you're online or an in-person student, you received a partial scholarship, and you should have received the scholarship letter or information about the scholarship. If you haven't, just let me know. But everyone has a partial scholarship. Aside from that, if you were selected as a graduate intern or a graduate assistant or a fellow, you've already been notified that that process has already taken place in terms of those other funding opportunities. If you obviously weren't selected as a GA, GI, or a fellow, please note that the funding application will reopen in January of 2026. So you can apply as a current student. If you want more information about graduate assistantships, internships, or the fellowship opportunities within the School of Social Work, feel free to reach out to me. But again, that funding application will not reopen until January 2026. And then you'll have until March 1st to submit that application. And then if you are selected to receive one of those funding opportunities, you'll be notified in April. Other than that, I strongly encourage you, I reiterate what has been shared already about paying for grad school. If you have not completed the FAFSA, if you have not explored graduate loan options, please do so. At the graduate level, there tends to be less funding, particularly scholarships. So make sure you utilize the other resources that are available to you. I'd also recommend just going to slu.edu and typing in scholarships or assistantships or internships across campus and learning about those opportunities outside the School of Social Work. And there will be many more opportunities and funding opportunities as a current student. So just make sure you explore that. And again, you can actually just go to slu.edu and learn more about the other financial funding opportunities across the campus. Thank you.
All right, I see one more question in the chat that says, how do we know if we were approved with grants? Oh, Dorothy, you already answered the question. You're on it.
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
so unfortunately, graduate students are not eligible for any federal grants. Like if you've been in undergrad with federal SEOG or the Pell Grant, unfortunately, those stop at undergrad.
Thanks, Dorothy. All right, everyone. If you haven't already got a screenshot of this SLU Resources contact information, definitely do that right now. I want to say thank you to all of the department contacts that joined us. Students, if you haven't watched their resource videos after today, you definitely want to review the video, write down any questions you have, and send an email to any of these email addresses for some follow-up. Thanks, everyone. And students, we are going to move right along into our next session, the School of Social Work Systems and Resources. I'll let my colleague Danny take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Becca. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to give a really good overview of the School of Social Work resources that are available to you, the people that you should be in contact with, that you should have on your radar already if you don't. So within the School of Social Work, these are the individuals that you should know who they are, because throughout your academic journey in the School of Social Work, you will be in contact with these folks on a regular basis. Pretty much at this point, Becca and myself, after you start classes, we will no longer really be your point of contacts. Our roles have concluded for the most part in terms of the application and admissions process and getting you to orientation. So pretty much from this point on, we're kind of passing the baton to these individuals within the School of Social Work to help you matriculate in your graduate school journey. With that being said, I'm always available. Becca's always, she's going to be available to help answer your questions and point you in the right direction. But my goal is to empower you to understand the individuals that you should be in contact with now as incoming current graduate students. With that being said, at this point, if you don't know who your program director is, I would encourage you to make sure you know who your program director is. We have 3 program directors in our master's programs. You should know who that person is at this point. You will be assigned faculty advisors at a later date, so don't panic if you don't know who your faculty advisor is. That information is forthcoming. Probably in the next month or 2, you'll be assigned a faculty advisor. That individual, which is typically a professor, will help you in course planning. In the future, you would go to them directly if you have registration questions as well. So you'll be assigned that faculty advisor at a later date as well. Our academic program coordinator, by now you should know who that is. That is Shelby Tarkington. She's been awesome, especially throughout the registration process. She will be your go-to person in the event you have registration errors. So by now, again, you should know who Shelby Tarkington is. She's very awesome, and she will help you again if you have any registration errors. There is a registration form you'll need to fill out that will help Shelby. So just make sure you're utilizing that first if you do have registration errors going forward. Our Director of Field Education, Dr. Wendy DeCase, you'll hear from her later. She will give a presentation on field education or practicum. So make sure you listen to that presentation, and she will answer any practicum related questions you may have. And then she will also be in some of your classes presenting on practicum as well. So that will be your point of contact if you have to complete practicum in your program. Our business manager, you'll hear from her, Charlie Jess Kilmani. She'll talk to you more about tuition and billing. So make sure you listen to that presentation and ask any questions you may have. And then obviously admissions and marketing, that's myself and Becca. And again, we're going to always be here for you, but we want to make sure we empower you to know who to go to first if you have any questions. And in general, if we can go to the next slide, Becca. In several emails you've received, and including the latest reminder about this online orientation, attached to the email is our graduate resources support document. This document that we've attached to several emails outlines all of the departments that are available to you as an incoming graduate student. So whether it's the University Counseling Center, the Writing Services Department, Career Services, SFS, Campus Ministry, the Graduate Student Association, that document outlines each of the departments that you should be aware of as an incoming graduate students. They also list the links to their home pages or their websites so that you can get more information about what each department, what they do, how to contact them. A lot of them provide services to, all of them provide services to online students. So you don't have to come to campus to utilize their services. So make sure if you have not already, if you haven't opened that graduate resources document that I've attached to several emails, and it is attached to your most recent email you received today, look at that. Whether you think you may need, help writing, or if you may need the Center for Accessibility and Disability Resources, make sure you understand what services they offer, because you may need them at some point throughout your academic journey. And I definitely do want to highlight the Center for Accessibility and Disability Resources. If you need any type of academic accommodations, be sure to reach out to them now. I want to reiterate, if you need any type of academic accommodations, be sure to reach out to them now. Don't wait until your classes start. You should be reaching out to them now. And again, that document that has been attached to the email includes the link to their website and then how to get in contact with them. Other than that, I would say, I just want to reiterate, utilize these resources. Do not go through your academic journey and not be in contact with these departments. You saw presentations for library services, IT, and financial aid or student financial services. You probably should have their numbers in your phone, to be quite honest, particularly IT and SFS. If you don't have those numbers plugged in your phone, I would encourage you to do that today, because those are going to be key departments that you'll probably have to contact. And the best way to contact them is by phone. So be sure to plug their numbers in. Also in the email that Becca sent, she included the contact us sheet. So it outlines all of the contact information for everybody within the School of Social Work, numbers, phone numbers, emails. That is for you to utilize. We just didn't send it for the heck of it. We want you to utilize that. So take a look at that contact us sheet, take a picture of it with your phone, So you can know who to go to or who to call or email directly so that you can get the fastest response in the service. So in the fall, myself, Rebecca, we shouldn't be receiving emails about how to register for classes. So when November comes and it's time to register for spring classes, we are not your point of contacts to register for classes at that point. You should be emailing your faculty advisor or contact your program director. So just wanted to stress that because we want you to get the fastest response. And at this point, you should know who to go to for things like registration, financial aid questions. If you're having issues with your password, any issues with your MySLU apps, we can't help you. The admissions office can't help you. That is where you need to contact those specific departments. With that being said, who's had a chance to look over that graduate resources document? Thumbs up if you've already looked at it. Thumbs up if you've already looked at, oh my gosh. I see a few thumbs, okay. All right, perfect. If you have not had a chance to look at that document, I will stress to you, please do that before classes start. That will help you understand what's available to you and to help you get off to a great start as an incoming graduate student. So next slide. Is that my, okay. Yep. Key reminders, I've covered a lot of this already, but I want to make sure I'm still on track with time. Perfect. Key reminders, your SLU credentials. Everyone should have their SLU credentials at this point already, such as your banner ID, your SLUNet ID. Take a picture of that. Have that information in your cell phone because you're going to need it. So whenever you call IT, whenever you contact SFS, Student Financial Services, they will definitely ask you for your banner ID. So make sure you take a picture of it, have it in your phone. SLU photo ID. I know most of you are online students. I've sent the email about how to obtain your SLU photo ID, but essentially you have to email parking at SLU.edu to start that process if you want to get a SLU ID. So if you haven't looked at that email about how to obtain your student ID, please do so. It gives you the email address on who you need to email to start that process of getting your SLU photo ID made. And they do offer an option to have it mailed to you. But again, you have to follow that process. Other reminders, check your SLU emails daily. I cannot stress that enough. I know Jess is going to stress that in her presentation, but you will miss out on so much great information if you're not checking your SLU email. I wanted to point out that as incoming graduate students and eventually current students, you're going to get emails from NewsLink. That is the SLU publication. That publication has so much great information. They talk about a lot of events happening across campus. Some of the events may be virtual. Read NewsLink. If you want to know what's happening across SLU, not just within the school of social work, read NewsLink. So if you see a NewsLink email, take a second and review it. Academic calendar. At this point, you should know how to access the academic calendar, which will highlight important dates, university holidays. If you have this final schedule or whatnot, all the critical dates for the university are in the academic calendar. If I were you, I would print out that academic calendar. I would save it somewhere, but you should be familiar with the academic calendar, and you can always obtain it just by going to SLU.edu in the search bar, put in academic calendar, and it'll pop up for you. Other than that, make yourself familiar with the School of Social Work website and SLU's website. A lot of the times, this is an opportunity that I think incoming graduate students forget about. Our School of Social Work website has a lot of great information on it, such as your student handbooks. And we've already sent the handbooks to you via email, but if you ever want to access the student handbooks for your programs, they are available through the School of Social Work website. So before classes start, take a minute and go to the School of Social Work website, click around, but make sure you're familiar with the School of Social Work website. It also lists the faculty and staff contact information as well on the school social work website. So take a moment, familiarize yourself with that website. Also go to SLU's website. So Big SLU's main website, slu.edu. Go to it, take a look around. If you ever need to just find out information across the campus, at the top, go to that search bar and type it in, and whatever you need will typically pop up as far as information across campus. So make sure you're familiar with both of those websites. My advice is to just make sure on the side of professionalism, making sure you adhere to your appointments and meetings. So if you schedule an appointment or a meeting with a professor or financial aid or whoever, make sure you honor that meeting or appointment. And if you can't, communicate. That is critical. Now that you're incoming graduate students, there's a higher level expectation for you. You're no longer undergraduate students, you're graduate students, you're mastering a degree. And so there is a higher level expectation from you in terms of how you communicate, and just making sure that you're on top of things, and that you're responsible for your education. Finally, just be prepared. So whether you're an online or in-person student, be prepared. Online students, I can't stress it enough, make sure you are active and present in your classes. So if you do have a class that meets via Zoom or whatever, make sure your video is on. Like, I want to stress that. Make sure your video is on, make sure you're engaged. Use your emojis if your professor encourages that. Make sure you are engaged. That will make all the difference in your experience. Other than that, if you're an in-person student, I always recommend students to not just come to class. Maybe come an hour or two early before your class starts. Get yourself familiar with the campus. Grab something to eat before class. Go to the library. We have a beautiful library that has 5 levels. Utilize that. So, come to campus, explore, and make sure you are in touch with the folks that really will have a impact on your education, not only within the School of Social Work, but across SLU as well. So those are my key reminders to help empower you. Again, we are all here for you. And so with that being said, any questions really quickly on any of the resources that are available to you as incoming graduate students? Any questions? How many of you plan to utilize the departments across campus, like library services, counseling center, writing center? How many of you plan to use those services? Show of hands. Great. Great. Your experience will definitely, how successful you are will be determined by you knowing the resources that are available to you and whether you use them or not. So that is my advice. I was once a grad student as well, and your success in the program will be determined by what you utilize and how you utilize resources available to you. So with that being said, I'm excited for each of you. I'm actually going to stop talking now and turn it over to my colleague, Jess Kamadi, and she'll take it from there. Or actually back there, I'm sorry, Canvas.
That's all right. Thanks, Danny. We are going to talk about Canvas really quickly because as online students, your course delivery, everything that you need for your classes, how you communicate with your instructors, all of that will be done through Canvas. Before I give my spiel, I want to see with thumbs up, who has used Canvas before, who's heard of it, who's familiar with it in any way. Let's see. See a couple, that's good. Awesome, okay, we love to see it. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to download the Canvas student app. And once you've done that, turn your notifications on. That is like the #1 and #2 most important steps when it comes to using Canvas. So if you haven't done it already, I want everyone to take out their phones. We have a couple minutes. Take your phone out right now and search in your app store and download the Canvas student app while I'm talking. So while you're doing that, there are a few key features in Canvas that I want to highlight. When you log in, you'll see your account. You can add a profile picture if you want to. Make sure you update those notification settings, turn them on for announcements, turn them on for due dates, for the calendar, where you can set up your own to-do list. You want all the notifications for Canvas that you can get, you want them on. You'll see your dashboard, and I'll go through this inside Canvas in just a moment. You'll see your dashboard, which have your courses in a tile format. Once they're published by the instructor, so today's the 15th, classes start next week. Don't be surprised if not all your course tiles are published yet. Our faculty members are working really hard at putting the final touches on the courses before they publish them. So it'll probably show up this weekend if it hasn't already. You'll also see there is a courses bar on the left that shows them in a list format. So just two different ways to find your actual courses. There's the calendar, which you can go in and set up your own to-do list. So if you need an extra reminder of a due date, or you need to get this done for a group project, use that calendar. It's incredibly useful. If you need to message your instructor or classmates, if you're working in a group or you just had a question about something, the inbox is going to be a good way to get a hold of your classmates. I will say that a lot of our instructors do prefer to be emailed, which their email addresses, one, you have on the contact sheet that we sent you, and two, they'll most likely be in the syllabus that you'll get for your course. So just make sure you know the way that your faculty likes to be communicated with, but that inbox is a good fallback for communicating with classmates and instructors as well. So I'm going to very quickly take us into the Canvas page that everyone should be a part of. It's called SSW Resources. If you are an MSABA or an MSW student, you also will be in a field page as well. That's for practicum, but everybody is part of this SSW Resources page. Like I mentioned, this sidebar has all the information you need. There are announcements. The announcements in this particular page is going to be anything from events happening on campus to job openings, to volunteer opportunities, to announcements that the videos for the orientation recordings are available. So anything that you need, or any announcements that are made in the school will be made here. If you're looking for the people that are in your course, which in this particular non-course class, you're going to find everybody that's a student in the School of Social Work, whether they're grad or undergrad. This is one of the most important pages in the SSW Canvas Resources page. It is where all the files live. So if you are going through your module or you're looking for your roadmap or the handbook and you can't find it on the website, come into the Canvas Resources page, search for it here, and you'll be able to find it. Now, if you're looking for something that is specific to your program, we have these wonderful modules that you can find all things MSW, MSABA, and MACCJ. So for example, you'll find an introduction slide, you'll find concentration information, you'll find the student handbook, you'll find field information. Anything that you need for your program, you are going to find it in here in your program specific module. So if you're not in this course, email us today so that we can make sure to get you in. If you haven't accepted the course invite, because you do have to accept it, if you haven't accepted the course invite, do that, get in here and play around. And then send us questions if you're not quite sure how to navigate it, but you will be using Canvas for all of your classes as an online student. So get familiar, don't be afraid of it. It is going to save your life as an online student. If there are no questions, which I can take a couple questions really quick to stay on track, I will pass it over to my colleague, Jess. I see a hand, Alyssa.
I don't think I got an email for the Canvas, like social work page.
All right, if you want to send an email to socialwork@slu.edu, I will put that email in the chat and let us know that you don't think you received it, and we will double check and get you what you need.
Great, thank you.
All right, with that, I will pass it off to Jess for tuition and billing, everybody's favorite.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see you again. Thanks, Becca. And yes, I personally love this. I mean, this is my job, right? As a business manager, I do get to spend a lot of time working very closely with student financial services, but most importantly, spending time working with you and making sure that you have what you need to be successful in the program. So today I am just going to go through a couple of different topics here, particularly contact information. We'll talk a little bit about billing structures, scholarship allocation, what financing options look like. Some of this might be redundant to what you heard from Student Financial Services, SFS. And then my little personal communication tips and tricks that I have come to find over the last few years. So the first, as we look at contact information, the first thing I want to note, as I've been in quite a few of these presentations and things that can sometimes be confusing in terms of nomenclature, are that you are very blessed to be part of a university, a school, and a program. And the university, St. Louis University, that's your Office of Student Financial Services. That's who you met earlier. That's going to talk to you about your personal options for your loans, for your financing, for your payment plans. That is at that university level. And that covers everything related to your journey throughout your time in a university. You're also part of the School of Social Work. The School of Social Work, which you're here today as part of your orientation. We have our 3 disciplines, and I am your primary contact for things related to business and finance and kind of the operations of the school for all programs in the School of Social Work. And then you are part of a program. Your program directors, as Deanie has mentioned, you've met with in different times during your registration, your initial registration, and then you'll get into your program-specific content later this afternoon. Your programs also offer different opportunities and supports too. So one of the bigger things to note with this contact information is who does what. And primarily, you're going to work most closely with Student Financial Services, but there are going to be times where I can definitely support and work with you to clarify things, but I'm at the school level. And so that's today what we're going to mostly talk about or be able to review is what does the School of Social Work charge for its degrees? Why do we do that? How do we break it down? So this contact information, you'll see mine at the end again, and you've received SFS information before. But one thing I'll kind of note now is that finances are personal. And so the questions that you're going to have are most likely going to be individualized. So I'm going to we can do some general questions, I guess, at the end, but primarily I would love for you to just email me. We can set up times to meet individually, or we can talk on the phone. We can do whatever you need. But the one thing I know is that when we talk finances, it's very personal. So that's going to have to be a off-screen conversation. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the next example of what is a billing structure. In the School of Social Work, we are very lucky to be able to offer flat rate tuition. What you are paying for is the degree. So the cost of your degree is not going to change regardless of how long it's going to take you to finish your degree. So this flat rate, there's no additional school fees. What you see is what you get. You'll have to buy books for courses or rent them or things like that, but there are no additional fees. Other programs potentially do have school fees. The other thing is with that flexible course planning. Again, everyone's on an individualized course plan. You figure that out with your director and your faculty advisors, but the tuition is going to be set regardless of when and how many credit hours you're taking. The next slide is going to show us an example of what the billing structure looks like. You've been emailed the billing structures. You can have access to them on the website, but at the end of the day, this is kind of how it's broken down. You've got a standard track billing and a professional track billing that align with the roadmaps for your programs. Roadmaps are for full-time course loads at 12 credit hours per semester or 6 credit hours per semester based on the programs. And this is how we can divide out those payments. As we look at the next information, there's a key difference in course planning and billing. While these two things align, we try to align the course plans and the bills so that we know, okay, you're typically at the university for 4 semesters, we're only going to bill you for 4 semesters. We know that this is individualized, and so we make accommodations for that as needed. The idea of full-time versus part-time, again, these two things are independent of billing. Time status, and there's a link here, again, this can be found on the university website, is a university definition and it relates to accreditation. At the university level, if you are scheduled for 6 credit hours or more, you are considered full-time. That does not necessarily mean at the school level, you're a full-time student, because as you've met with the director, you'll meet with your faculty advisors. 6 credit hours, or typically two classes, is usually a part-time schedule for a working adult or someone who's ultimately trying to just kind of start off in graduate programs, or it works for you individually. But from a university perspective, if you are 6 credit hours or more, you are considered full-time. There's a fee, a university fee, that is going to look, say, full-time or part-time. You've probably seen that on your bill. Again, that is not a school fee, and that's determined by the number of registered courses you're in. Due to the fact that all students are typically registered in 6 credit hours or more, you're defaulted to a standard track billing. The standard track billing, again, it outlines and follows the roadmaps. If someone wants to request that they want to be on professional track, that's something that I will work with you on, and we work on that individually by emailing me, and we go ahead and make those changes. The key differentiator between standard track and professional track is that commitment to the 6 credit hours. There's going to be some fluctuation semester by semester. Again, that's an individualized plan. But ultimately, if you know that you're going to be in courses for 7 to 8 semesters and you'll commit to the professional track, we make that change. But again, the time status is not going to change you to part-time, because if you're still at 6 credit hours or more at the university level, you're considered full-time. From the program standpoint, you're part-time, and that's working for your life. Do you see a question here?
I just have one question. So I want to do the professional track, but what if, like in the summers, for example, I want to take on 4 classes? Would that impact? I know you said you're already considered full-time, but how would that work from like a financial aid perspective?
So thank you, Ashton, for the question. Again, talking very general. Because we are a flat rate program, you can take as many credit hours or as few credit hours every semester, and it is not going to impact your billing. So once you are in a track, that is what your bill is going to be, regardless of how many credit hours you take. The key difference, Becca, is it okay if we go back one slide? Thank you. Is these little asterisks at the bottom. If at any point your course planning accelerates your time to degree, or you take a little bit less or a little bit more time and you've already paid off your degree, we look at the standard track billing, this first little semester 5 asterisk. There might be a semester where you have to take 1 more class in the summer, but you've already paid your degree. We will not bill you. Or if we look at professional track and we look at semester 8, and this might be, Ashton, kind of addressing the question that you have. It might be that you've taken 6 credits, 6 credits, 6 credits, 1 semester's 9 credits, or maybe 12. And we've got this last, you're going to be done in semester 7. That means this final bill, semester 8, is going to be charged when you apply to graduate in semester 7. Because a key aspect of this is that your degree will be conferred when you successfully complete all your courses and you have paid your degree in full. So again, these might be more individualized questions. So I suggest let's set up a time to meet anytime. I'm a late bird, so I will meet you on West Coast time too, or very early if anyone's on the East Coast. I can do that too. If we can, Becca, move on to the billing tracks, the course planning. I'm sorry, scholarships. So one of the other benefits of being in the School of Social Work is that we offer school scholarships. I know this question has come up quite a few times about financial aid versus loans versus scholarships. Everyone has been allocated a scholarships. There might be nuances or differences for opportunities that you've been provided, but typically this is the allocation of scholarships within the School of Social Work. Additionally, we are able to afford stipends or scholarships, depending on how you want it paid out to you, for things that come up during your time in your programs. Typically during your practicum experiences, or if you are an MACCJ student and you opt into an internship course, we have the generosity of our alumni who are saying we want to support this additional opportunity for our students, and so we are able to allocate those during those semesters. A couple of things to note about scholarship allocation, and we can see this on that next slide. Scholarships, sometimes called tuition remission, are sent to Student Financial Services at the beginning of every semester. You must be registered for a class in order for that to actually be put onto your account. And it can take 10 to 20 business days for them to apply that to your account just because of workload. If additional scholarships come up or there have been issues where things are not accurate on your account, I request that you email me and I will follow up with Student Financial Services to see where it's at in their allocation process. We're talking thousands of students that they are making sure that they're putting things onto the accounts accurately, so I can help to kind of be that bridge. They may not know it's been sent over yet because it's still in their queue, and I can make sure for you or on your behalf as to where that's at and what the time frame looks like. The stipends and additional funds. When you are enrolled in specific classes, and that's going to change for everybody, so timelines are different. You receive documentation from me that you sign off on, determining how you want your stipends to be allocated, and then that gets paid within 30 days. A key word here is census, because we need to make sure census for every semester happens the second week of courses. That's after the drop enroll date. It makes sure that everyone who's enrolled and registered in a class actually attends that class, and we have an accurate count of the rosters. After that, within 3 to 5 business days, and I know who's actually in the courses, then you'll start seeing those allocation documents come out. On the next slide, I'm going to reiterate some things that you probably heard from Student Financial Services, or give you some direct links that are going to be helpful as you go through the loan process. Part of the flat rate structure that we offer and having the terms laid out also helps you with planning your billing or planning your payments or your loan options. These links on this page, again, it's all going to be sent to you and from that Canvas page. Thank you, Becca, for that. Is that you can start looking at what type of loans or what type of financial planning you want to do to pay for each of these semesters, which also helps you decide, do I want to attend a summer course? Do I want to just wait until the fall? These are the types of things that you start planning now based on the FAFSA schedule. And tips and tricks, things that I've learned over the year. These are my things. Be abilican, be clear, and be proactive. Always communicate as a SLU student regarding SLU information. So if you are going to email anyone at the university, at the school, in your program, use your St. Louis University email. I do encourage you, if you feel comfortable doing this, trying to put it on your phone so that you can differentiate quickly, or download that Outlook app so that you're only communicating with the SLU communications through Outlook, because when we communicate you particularly about your finances, we are going to need to communicate via SLU information. Always have your full name, your banner ID, and it is helpful with the program, but it's that name and that banner ID are critical. That's the fastest way that we can look you up and make sure that we have everybody on the same page. The second one's to be clear, thorough, but yet inquisitive. Asking the right types of questions, making sure that you have the correct people on the emails and communications, or you're calling the right offices. We're going to get you where you need to be at the university and school level. But asking those questions, trying to avoid the assumptions of like, oh, this just wasn't allocated. It could be a timing. It could be a situation of maybe we had the wrong banner ID and we just need to correct it. All things can be made correct when we have the right questions and we know what we're doing. That's the other thing I want to know, is that we are all working together to make sure that you are successfully enrolled in your program and that the commitments that we made to you, we follow up on. I do think making sure that the relevant information is in each email is important. Leaving out certain pieces that just will delay trying to get you the result that you need. And then that positive and productive language. What is it that at the end of this meeting, email, conversation, what is it that we need to accomplish for you to make sure that you're successful? And the be proactive. Ask the questions early. Make sure that if we've got questions about how things are laid out or our accounts don't look accurate, let's do it now. Appropriate forms. There is a form for everything, and we have come to find, and that really helps us at a university, school, and program level to make sure that everybody has access to things. If we're being proactive, if someone is taking a leave of absence or needs to make a change, there's a form for that. We're going to get you the appropriate form. We just need you to complete it. Those are the types of things that allow us across all of the programs at the university to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And a big thing is to check those accounts. Check your payment suite, check your banner, check DegreeWorks. Make sure that you have the most up-to-date in real-time information before you hit send on that email, or let's check it in real time together, because things are changing all the time. And we want to make sure that we're working off the most accurate and clear information in real time. So those are my tips and tricks. And the last slide's just going to reiterate contact information for you. We'll always be available to meet online, in person, on the phone, and we'll get to your emails ASAP to make sure, again, that we are successfully in this program together. So I can take some general questions if needed, but I really highly encourage, if there's some personal things that we need to attend, let's get that done before classes start next week. Please send me an email and we will get that taken care of as soon as possible to make sure that everyone starts off this new program successfully.
Thank you so much, Jess.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Congratulations. Welcome. Go Billikens. We're so excited.
All right, everybody, before we give you a short break and move on to the rest of the day, Danny and I just wanted to go over a few things. Also, thank you for sticking with us for the last 2 hours. We know it was a lot of information, and we hope that you took some good notes and, retained some of that info. But if not, we will be sending out the recordings for the sessions that happened this morning next week. Before we move on, I did want to put out a reminder that you all received a survey in the email this morning for today's orientation. Please don't forget to fill it out and email it back to us. We want to continue making orientation better for the future classes of the School of Social Work. So please let us know your thoughts and send it back to us as soon as you can. I also wanted to send a shameless plug out there. If you're not already following our social media pages, please do so. You can scan the QR codes on the screen. We post everything on our social media, whether it's staff and faculty shout outs, student shout outs. If you guys are doing some really cool work, let us know so that we can shout you out on social media. We post about our upcoming events on social media. We have homecoming coming up in September. You're going to see a lot of posts about that in the near future. Sign up to attend. So if you're not following us on social media and already, go ahead and do that now. And then I have just a couple other reminders before I pass it off to Danny for her final remarks. Coming up next after the break, we will be going into our program and concentration and practicum breakout sessions for my dual degree students. If you are an MSW, MS-ABA dual degree student, I want you to attend the ABA sessions. This was in your email already that you received earlier this week and this morning, but just as a reminder, attend the ABA sessions. For my dual MSW, MACCJ students, I would like you to attend the CCJ sessions. If you're worried about missing the MSW sessions, don't worry. Those sessions will be recorded too, and we will send you that information so that you can then at a later date watch all of the MSW sessions as well. My MACCJ dual students also, when you're done with your CCJ sessions, you are going to attend the practicum session with Dr. Ducasse, and that's at 1:10. And then my ABA students, whether you're MSW with an ABA concentration or MSW, MS-ABA dual, you will be done after the concentration breakout sessions end at 1:10. You do not need to attend the MSW practicum or the MACCJ internship. Like I said, this was all written out in an email, but are there any questions about that before I hand it over to Danny and then we let you take a break?
Does everyone know where to go? Everyone know where to go? Thumbs up if you know where to go.